There are two major types of conflicts that occur, and the first one is here, the stockholder-manager conflict. And that's because managers, just by human nature, are wanting to try to do what's best for them. And this is all not always the best thing for the stockholders. So remember, the managers are trying to maximize stockholder value, or that's what they should be doing. But they might get caught up in corporate perks, like things like corporate jets, extra homes in other cities where they need to travel to for business, and things that just cost money, maybe decorating their office really, really, really well. And all of those things would take away from shareholder value. Not all managers do this, but there are managers that can. And then some other situations might be that a manager might want to take on a project because it's a really big project and it makes him look really important, but the project actually will decrease the firm value. And by the time it decreases the firm value, that manager may plan on being gone. So we have to come up with ways to align stockholders and managers' interests. So we use motivational tools, and the four that you can see here we'll discuss. So the compensation package should be sufficient enough to attract and retain able managers, but not go beyond what is needed. Also, compensation packages should be structured so that managers are rewarded on the basis of the stock's performance over the long run, not the stock's price on an option exercise date. This means that options, or even direct stock awards, should be phased in over a number of years so managers will have an incentive to keep the stock price high over time. Since intrinsic value is not observable, compensation must be based on the stock's market price, what you see out on Yahoo Finance. But the stock price should be an average over time rather than on a specific date. Another solution is that stockholders can intervene directly with managers. Today, the majority of stock is owned by institutional investors, and these institutional money managers have the clout to exercise considerable influence over firms' operations. First, they can talk with managers and make suggestions about how the business should be run. In effect, these institutional investors act as lobbyists for the body of stockholders. Second, any shareholder who has owned $2,000 of a company stock for 1 year can sponsor a proposal that must be voted on at the annual stockholders meeting, even if management opposes the proposal. Although shareholder sponsored proposals are non-binding, the results of such votes are clearly heard by top management. Well, if the firm's stock starts to become undervalued, then corporate raiders will see it to be a bargain and will attempt to capture the firm in a hostile takeover. So this is the fourth one. If the raid is successful, the target's executives will almost certainly be fired. This situation gives managers a strong incentive to take actions to maximize their stock's price. And then there's also the threat of firing. If managers are not doing well, the board of directors can take actions to fire the manager.